is something that always makes you smile?
Being able to feed people. I usually like to cook Filipino food. Lots of rice and like fish and like stews. That's what I like to cook.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Actually, it was between a figure skater and a brain surgeon.
How were you inspired for those careers?
My parents always wanted me to be a doctor. I guess that's like an Asian family thing. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna be a brain surgeon. I think I have the hands for it. I don't. I'm just so shaky now. And figure skating, that was like huge in the 90s, right? Like watching it in the Olympics and stuff, I just always thought they were so glamorous and carefree.
What is the scariest thing you've ever done?
Moving out from my house when I was 16. Well, it's not really by my choice. I kind of got kicked out by my dad. Moving in with a boyfriend that doesn't really care about you is pretty scary at 16, especially when you don't have any money. I lost probably like 20 pounds not being able to eat. My dad kicked us out. That was like shortly after my mom passed away. It was just a really difficult time. Yeah, it was really hard.
What was his reasoning for kicking you out?
So he was quite a bit older than my mom, right? So he was always the breadwinner, and he retired basically. Actually, they forced him to retire just as we were getting into high school. He just didn't know what to do with two teenage girls. He was like, what, 65 and had two 14-year-olds? Like, that's something that he never thought that would be his life, even though he chose to have us at like a really late time in his life. I haven't talked to him in probably 3.5, 4 years. Yeah.
Were you ever bullied?
I was bullied definitely in elementary school, but then I was also bullied in high school. It did not help my confidence or shyness at all. I was just like such a big nerd, and then like people would see the vulnerability in me. I'd be so shy. For a long time I didn't barely like would talk to people. I think that would make me the prime target.
Is there anything that people said that still sticks with you?
I have a big Asian family, and I was just like a very awkward looking person when I was growing up, and my sister was always the more beautiful one. Years of having my aunties and stuff being like, oh, Hannah's the pretty one, you know, blah, blah, blah. That still sticks with me today.
Have you found yourself in a crossroads in your life, and how did your decision impact your current life?
For the pandemic, I just broke up with this longtime partner of mine, and I thought he was the one, basically. So I was definitely just kind of thrown into life here in Vancouver because I like wanted to be with him over here. I always thought that I was gonna work in like the luxury like yacht stewardess type of thing. While I did it, I moved here to do it. I shortly realized after that that was not the dream. And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life? Like 2 years ago, I made the decision to go to school and have the confidence to go to school because I've had such a bad time at school before. And it's completely changed the way I look at myself and my confidence and like what I'm allowed to do and like what I deserve to be doing, you know? I've always just had kind of more customer service roles my entire life because I feel like that's all that I was told that I was good at and didn't have the confidence to pursue what I'm doing now.
What are you doing now?
A graphic designer, digital marketer, brand strategist.
When was the last time you tried something new?
About a couple months ago, I started bachata dancing with my partner. It's been super great to like get out of our bubble here in Kitsilano and like meet other people, and like I'm horrible with my flexibility, so I can move my hips finally. Can you believe it?
What is a lie you tell yourself most often?
The lie I tell myself most often is that I am not good enough and I don't deserve to be here. It comes from my childhood, from my dad specifically.
What are you most proud of?
Actually where I am today, because like I was going down a road where like I was gonna either not make it through the age of 16 or I would end up in like a really shitty abusive relationship. And I'm proud of myself for leaving my hometown when I was 19 and moving to Holland and like being like, you know what, I actually deserve to live and deserve to have a fulfilled life.
What brought you to Holland?
I have family there, and so it was kind of nice that I could be close to them. I always loved going there when I was younger. Just like the culture, the art alone is just amazing.
What life lesson did you learn the hard way?
Again, I'm gonna refer to like when I was younger and when my mom passed away. She was kind of the rock that held everything together. And after she passed away, my sister and I had to like learn how to do everything, like laundry, like cooking, cleaning. We never did that really before, or like in small like amounts. We just had to look out for ourselves and like learn how to be kind of independent and not depend on anyone. That was a really hard way to learn because it was kind of like the rug just got pulled out from underneath us. We're just drowning.
What's a belief you hold that many people may disagree with?
I hold a belief, I don't know if like the majority of people would disagree with me, but I know a lot would. I believe that like there is always some sort of good in everyone, even if like they are the most terrible person ever. You can see sometimes in that their like inner child reflecting through, and I just always think like when someone's really horrible and nasty to me, I can see like who hurt you? Like obviously there's some sort of deep wound there, but then also like sometimes struggle with being super sympathetic to them. You need to figure it out because you're making everyone around you super miserable, you know?
How do you measure success?
For me, I measure it by how happy I am and how fulfilled I am in my relationships. It's not just about work. Like even just like being able to afford to live by myself and have my own stuff and like, you know, I can do whatever I want. That's how I measure success. Just the freedom to do whatever you want and have the funds or like the opportunity to do them.
What is your biggest battle right now?
Trying to overcome my crippling imposter syndrome because it is rampant and it's real. Sometimes it's like when you get feedback from someone from like work or like even just in life, it's so hard not to like crumble and be like, oh, I'm actually a piece of shit and I'm actually so dumb. Why would I even try to think that I deserve to have this job, you know? That is really hard right now.
Have you ever been in love?
I'm in love right now, actually. Like, I didn't think I would be in love again after like my most previous breakup in like 2019, 2020. It's great to be in a relationship where your partner sees you and hears you, even if he disagrees with you, and to feel supported. Going through school and having him like encourage me and like help me with some of my stuff, like that's been like crazy amazing.
What does love feel like?
It just feels like you're safe. You're just like calm and like you're in your body. You just feel safe, and whatever you say or do, it's okay.
What is the greatest emotional pain you've ever felt?
Losing my mother, because that's all I knew. So like that, when that gets ripped away from you, you're like, who the fuck am I? Like you lose yourself, a sense of self. But I now believe that losing her is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, because like without losing her, I probably wouldn't be where I am today and like learning all those things. I probably would have been such a big fucking brat, to be honest. She was probably the most generous person I know, for sure. Like a lot of people say that about their moms, but my mom grew up in a small, dirt poor community in the Philippines, and I didn't realize how much she was loved and respected until I went back there for her funeral. And it was like the most beautiful funeral I've ever seen. There was like maybe a couple thousand people like in the community came out. Her funeral is like, I shit you not, it was like Princess Diana's funeral. It was a huge procession, and my sister, my dad, and I walked behind her coffin, and everyone came out of their houses and like watched us walk to the church. I found out after that she was like supporting a lot of people to go to school and, you know, just being like everyone's kind of mentor, and I had no idea until she passed away and everyone told us. The biggest emotional pain that I've ever felt is like from my own self. Really hating myself, giving up on myself, and just feeling like I don't belong here, like I'm nothing. I'm gonna cry. Okay.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
First of all, I'd give my younger self a big hug. And I'd also tell her to never listen to anybody that doesn't wish her well or like encourages her, you know, even through your teachers and stuff. Like I would tell her that you deserve to be here, that you are loved, and that you are, you know, you can do whatever you want. There's no limitations on it. and you deserve the best life you could ever dream of.
What is your greatest emotional fear?
Going back to that place where I have been many times, where I'm like not in my body and disassociating, like that feeling of in the pit of your stomach that is just like so sad, and like it's so sad, but it's also like the feeling of like you don't care, that nothing that you could do or anyone could say could make you feel better, like just nothing, that empty feeling. That's one of my greatest emotional fears, because like that it never has, well, it's ended okay, but like it's never going in the direction of ending fine, you know? It's scary. It's scary when you're that scared and you don't care that much. It's fucking terrifying.
What is something you wish people understood about you?
I think a lot of people think I'm very, I have a resting bitch face, so I feel like people think I'm either very bitchy or like just like uninterested in what they have to say. I wish people knew that obviously there's more layers to me. I'm actually a very kind and sympathetic person, and I do want to be your friend, unless you're like a horrible person and you have haven't gotten taken care of your inner child, then I don't want to be your friend. But yeah, that I'm just like open to anything and like anyone really. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. That's all. That's all. I want to be happy too. Yeah.
We all deserve to be happy. What is something you feel shame around?
Finances. I feel really ashamed about my finances, because I also have learned that it's a trauma response thing, because like my sister and I always got like, basically we weren't rich, but like we got whatever we wanted before, and then now I spend it until like my last dollar, and it's like I like that risk or something of feeling like I could be on the street. I don't know what it is, but I take it too far, and I'm just really ashamed that I don't have a house. Not a house, but like a savings or something, you know, like I just want to feel secure.
When was the last time that you cried from joy?
Oh yeah, okay, so this was recent then, like on my birthday trip to Seattle. I was just like having such a great time. It was like, here we are in the city, we're having like, we had a giant spread before me, and it's just like, I'm so happy right now. Like my heart couldn't be any fuller. Like I'm here with my love, but like also we're eating a bunch of food, we're in a different city. That was the last time. And then I cried probably because I was a little bit drunk, but also very happy.